You've all heard of the hot, crazy matrix. Well, we've come up with a hot, crazy matrix for cars. Sort of. I came up with this idea in terms of talking about how the depreciation curve works, because I explained to somebody recently that mileage and value have an inverse relationship, because he sent me a 300-mile Lamborghini Diablo, and I told him what it sold for. That's not in my budget. And so I explained to him that mileage has an inverse relationship to value. He goes, well, find me a 2 million mile one. So that spurred the idea of, let's actually break this down by mileage and how the values shake out, because people are always like, well, if I buy one with 15,000 miles, how many miles can I put on it before I lose my shirt? So I thought, okay, let's make this a science. Tyler took it to a whole new level and just recreated the hot, crazy matrix for cars.
Look, Doug, so you said think hot, crazy matrix for cars, and I did. I followed the assignment. I just didn't read the rest of it.
It was a simile. Well, okay, let's see Tyler's hot, crazy matrix for cars. And maybe we'll see my explanation on the actual science of things. And if not, we'll save that for a future episode, because it's probably going to be more boring than his. So what you got?
Okay, so I'm not going to go through explaining too much of the hot, crazy scale. It is a YouTube video that's got 10 million views. You can go look it up. It is pretty funny. A lot of things are obviously said in jest. But what I have created, and I apologize, audio listeners, this is a little bit visual, but I'll do my best. I have on this beautiful whiteboard this is a graph. So along the bottom, we have mileage. This is going from what I've called
the x-axis.
The x-axis is mileage from bad to good. And what that means is that the 0 point is what I've called moon plus. We've really, we've driven
the
this
million mile Ferrari.
Yes.
Yes.
Then it goes in
salvage titles, everything.
Yes. Some stuff has happened. Then it goes 150, 100K, 50K, and then delivery. Just to give you an idea. This is not terribly scientific. The y-axis is value proposition. So this might be a little confusing, but it essentially goes from good to bad. So this is a great value proposition, a good value, an okay value, a bad one, or they've jumped the shark. Things are really we're not having a good time.
So it makes sense, because as you go up, it is higher prices.
Yes.
But that is negative for the buyer.
And it could be, it's mostly higher prices, but it could just be they've really peaked, beyond peaked.
Sure.
So the first area on this that I'm going to draw out is what we call the no-go zone. So that is going to be your moon plus to 150,000 miles, we'll call it. All the way up. You don't want it. Don't worry about it. Don't buy any cars in there.
Unless you're a YouTuber and you need content.
Yes. That is exactly who is in this particular bucket, is YouTubers that need content. These are...
And you don't buy it for any price.
No, this Mark Spence loves to live in there. Thrifty mechanics, project car dreamers. It's never going to run, but they got something amazing for really cheap.
My Ferrari 456 is unfortunately up here.
Yes,
in the price thing, but all the way back.
See, Doug didn't listen.
I am
to the chart.
Thoroughly in the no-go zone.
So what we've got next. So I also drew on the chart, those of you can see, is the slope of one line to kind of divide it in two. You want to stay below the line. Above the line after the no-go zone is the danger zone. Do not want to be here. So the danger zone is where the people that drive E60 M5s are. The 944 Kings and Queens. We love some unreliable, expensive cars, but we're 10 years behind the curve, so now they're just expensive and unreliable.
McLaren MP4 12Cs.
Yes, 100%. More money than sense. I'd also put in here every recent buyer in the last couple of years of delivery mile 997 RS's 4.0s. We've jumped the shark. You're so behind. You tried.
But they'd be way up to the right.
Yes. Then the 997 4.0s are up here. Delivery miles, jump the shark. We're so out. Danger zone. Now below the line, what I will call, from 150,000 miles to 50,000 is the fun zone. This is where you really want to be. You're going to spend a lot of time here. You're going to have fantastic experiences. But you know that you want to get, you want to move up the chart a little bit. This is enthusiast cars that we all love, just normal folks having a great time. Corvettes, Mustangs, S2000s, 996s and 7s. No bad jokes there. You're just having fun.
And you don't worry about mileage. You don't obsess about it. You can just drive your car and enjoy it. But you can't overpay for those cars either. If you're above the line on the high mileage fun stuff.
Exactly.
Back
Gotta
to
be
the
careful.
danger
That's
zone.
where you can flirt with the line a little bit, but just stay below.
Only if you're a mechanic.
So then the last piece of our chart here is our goal. So between 50,000 miles and delivery, below the danger zone line of value. This is like slept on quirky cars. This is like really great examples of enthusiast cars. Engineers own these. People, midlife crisis cars. There's got to be some Corvettes in here, but this is where you go when you upgrade, and that's how you know you succeeded.
Where's the wife zone? There's a wife zone on the Hot Crazy Matrix.
I think it's this last one. I didn't watch it. The goal
but
zone.
Quirky cars are not wife zone. There's got to be a little section
like a little here,
right
you can
in
take
here.
Yep.
Right in here.
That's like
is the wife zone, and that's the cars you keep forever.
Yes,
that is the 997 GT3s
yes.
that have 15,000 miles, and you got for a great price, and they only have one previous owner.
Yeah.
Good histories.
Yes.
Not a lot of baggage.
My car is, I think, right on the line. I think 996 GT3s have really okay, the value proposition is maybe not as great as it once was, but I'm flirting with the line a little bit. So
but you got a good car, reasonable mileage, under the jump the shark price, so you're not in the danger zone.
Wife zone.
Wife zone.
Let's go.
What about the redheads?
Doug, well...
Where are the Ferrari Testarossas on that chart?
Danger zone, Doug.
Danger all of them. Just no matter the price, all of the redheads are in the danger zone.
Yes. Alrighty, so that is the hot, crazy matrix of cars.
You might have thought it would never happen, but Switchcast is endorsing a transport company. Whether you're moving a rare collectible, a high-end sports car, or your personal luxury vehicle, Shaughnessy Overland Express delivers with precision, privacy, and respect. This isn't just transport, it's white-glove care from pickup to delivery. For over 14 years, they've earned the trust of collectors, enthusiasts, dealers, and owners by offering unmatched service and personalized attention. You'll work directly with their experienced in-house team, ensuring a smooth and private experience without middlemen or surprises. Every shipment is protected with up to $3 million in cargo insurance, offering peace of mind for even the most valuable and rare vehicles on the road. In addition to their enclosed fleet, they've also established a trusted auto transport brokerage service, giving you access to a nationwide network of vetted, open, and enclosed carriers. Whether you need transport on a route they don't currently operate, or their carriers are at full capacity when your schedule demands, they'll still get it done without compromising the Shaughnessy standard of excellence. Same professionalism, same personal touch, expanded flexibility. We are proud at Switchcast to endorse Shaughnessy Overland Express as the official transporter of Switchcast. Visit soexinc.com and tell them Switchcast sent you. Let's talk serious a little bit. Well, sort of serious. As a buyer, how do the values go, right? So the values basically have a reverse hockey stick. So if you start at the danger zone, but the
start in the
crazy
danger zone.
Collector miles, below 500 miles, all of those cars are crazy prices. And of course, you have a bunch of nerds, if you auction it online, asking questions like, have all the seals, bushings been replaced? Have the shocks been replaced? Has the engine been rebuilt with all new seals? Has the oil been changed every year? Have you started it, brought it up to temperature 4 times a year? But they're never, ever buying because they actually want to buy a car in the safe zone, the wife zone.
Yes.
But they're looking at these cars that are way out of their price range. And
I think they think the under 500 miles is the wife zone because they're like, oh, it's practically brand new. But then you've changed so much of it because you need to replace all the seals at this point. It's the car of Theseus. Is it even the same thing anymore? Yeah. But they don't buy because the actual buyers, they're buying it like
Quaker Steak and Lube restaurant. They might as well be draining the fluids and hanging it on the wall because they're never going to drive it. They're going to wait for the values to increase and then sell it to somebody else who's never going to drive it. So, and those people typically are not even as concerned about condition as they are mileage, because there's a lot of low mile cars that were not stored properly and are kind of rough, but people just want the bragging rights of the mileage. So they trade from collector to collector to collector. The next kind of threshold, right? Those cars should never go over 1,000 miles or it's, you're going to lose your shirt. Next threshold is 5,000 miles. Still pretty crazy prices, but then you get into like the second tier collectors who want to drive a car only to a Cars and Coffee that's nearby on a sunny day so that they can brag there about how their car hasn't been driven. It's got super low miles, and then they'll sell it in a few years without putting enough miles on it so that it hurts the value. So they never want to get it above like 6,000 or 7,000 miles. Because, man, you get 7,000 miles. It's like, oh my gosh, that's high mileage to this group. And crossing the 10K mark would just end of the world.
Car's worthless.
Right.
Ruined.
These cars are also like hyper extremes. They're either still with the original owner or they have like 17 owners because they keep going from like collector to collector. These buyers are hyper concerned about things like paint meter readings, matching numbers, original window stickers, options, whatever, because there's so many of these cars out there that whatever sub 5,000 mile Porsche GT car they buy has to be more special than the next sub 5,000 mile Porsche GT car at Cars and Coffee.
More deviated stitching.
The next value drop is like 10 to 20,000 miles. That's the safest space from a value perspective. That's below your line.
We're visual aid again, guys.
That's not in the wife zone. That's in like the fun zone, the top of the fun zone,
right
but
here.
Approaching the danger zone. They're much cheaper cars than sub 10,000 miles, but you can still put some miles on it without concern. The difference between 13 and 17,000 miles is not really that big of a deal. But the owners are always stressed out because they're caught in between their desire to have a perfect sub 5,000 mile car, but without that budget, and their desire to be like the people who drive 50,000 mile cars around and don't care. So it's this constant state of anxiety. And I've seen this firsthand. I tell those people to put a piece of tape over your odometer, but they can't, because if they go past 20,000 miles, boom, values in the toilet. But 25 to like 45,000 miles, that's your wife's own cars.
There it is.
These are the best actual deals on the market typically, as they experience pretty significant depreciation from the almost collectible previous group. And a lot of enthusiasts and actual drivers like Tyler fall into this category. You had 35,000 miles on the GT3 you bought. It's a good sweet spot for buyers and sellers, and you can usually buy a relatively fresh car that's not worn out, but also put a bunch of miles on it without taking a big depreciation hit. So if you want to put 15,000 miles on a car, you can do that.
Heck yeah.
But don't cross the 50,000 mile barrier. That's a big one. And I think this is also fed by like Auto Trader and Cars.com, because they have the search thresholds.
Yeah.
At every 10,000 miles. So if you have 10,100, you lose this entire buyer demographic. Above 50,000 miles, the curve starts flattening because there's kind of a floor to everything. These, still in the fun zone there.
Fun zone.
These the buyers typically, but not always, fall into like the bottom feeder class of the market. The ones that they're the cars that exotic car dealers buy from auction, put on the floor without doing any recon or servicing, but they'll happily finance you for 10 years and sell you a $10,000 warranty for peace of mind. The marginally successful crypto bros and highly leveraged fresh grads from exotic car hacks are possibly among the buyer demographic there. So that's a tough dealer model from a seller's perspective. Then you get above 100,000 miles. You're getting almost into the no-go zone.
But I mean, honestly, you're probably in the danger zone in this situation. A very small amount of cars are still in the fun zone.
You'd think these would be the cheapest by a large margin, but the depreciation curve, this is where it flattens out. It's that reverse hockey stick, because there's a lot of diminishing depreciation. And so I think these cars go into the danger zone because you're really not saving that much money. They're cheap, but they're not always worth it. because depending on the car, the upkeep starts to become a real thing.
Yes.
And then you have the bottom, the no-go zone, the 200,000 mile salvage/flood title cars. Now, the problem with these cars is they're definitely not a deal because a depreciation curve has a dead cat bounce right there. Because there's so many YouTubers searching for exciting content, and low mile cars that work perfectly just don't get the views. So the worse the car is, seemingly, the more it's worth, because there's only so many ex-repo, drug lord, hurricane titled McLarens out there, and there's a lot of YouTubers looking for Foster cars. So figure out which demographic you fit in, and try to find a car that's in the fun zone or the wife zone for your particular needs. Soul & Spine wants everyone to have a higher quality of life. They specialize in non-surgical options for those who have been told that they need injections or surgery. They offer state-of-the-art techniques that help over 90% of patients become pain-free in just weeks. Starting with thorough medical history and comprehensive examination, you'll work one-on-one with Dr. Hoover to meet all your treatment goals. Their mission is to unleash your body's own healing potential to avoid drugs and surgery. Visit soulandspine.com to learn more, located in Solon, Ohio. Thank you for joining us for Switchcast with Doug Tabbitt and Tyler Sanders, produced by Ethan Huffnagel. Switchcast is an automotive entertainment and opinion show, and nothing we say should be taken very seriously. We do not give tax, investment, legal, emotional, or professional advice, and the only licenses we hold are driver's licenses. The opinions expressed on this show are exclusively held by the people pontificating at that moment and do not reflect the values of our producers or sponsors. Our theme music is provided by Emily and Ivory. You can stream their full album on Spotify or SoundCloud. If you like this show, you can stream it in its entirety on your favorite audio podcast platform. Check out switchcast.live for more info.